Hey guys, it's Invoked 101 again. It's been a hot minute, but for my monthly deck profile, as it seems I'm doing nowadays, Yubel. I've been playing this a lot in my free time, and I've really enjoyed it. So let's talk about it. If you know how this goes, we do the monsters, spells, and traps, and then the extra deck. No frills, no fluff, nothing. Let's get right into it. Starting us off, we have one of each classic Yubel. These just kind of float into each other. If it's destroyed by a card effect, it floats into this. If this is destroyed, if this leaves the field, it summons this. So, and then this doesn't float into anything. If your opponent targets this for an attack, they take damage, and then any damage you take from any of them, your opponent takes instead. I don't believe any of them can be destroyed by battle, can't be normal summoned, or special summoned, must be summoned by Yubel. Terra Incarnate must be summoned by Yubel. So, yeah, pretty basic things. They help run the deck. This one specifically is really important. So, one each of them, and I have not found really a better thing, especially because this one can summon this from hand, deck, or grave, and this can summon this from hand, deck, or grave. So, next up, we have some of the new stuff. 3 Spirit of Yubel. This is a really, really important monster. If your opponent declares an attack, you can special summon it from your hand. It can't be destroyed by battle, and you take no damage from battles involving this card. If it's destroyed, you can special summon one of your Yubel, so this thing specifically, that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. And then when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon it. If this card is summoned, you can add to your hand or set a spell or trap that specifically mentions Yubel. So it must specifically mention Yubel, meaning you can't actually get the field spell off of this, unfortunately. Then we have 3 Samsara D Lotus. This thing is really cool. So Yubel over here, at the end of your turn, if it is face up, you have to tribute a monster. Samsara D Lotus, if you control a Yubel monster, you can special summon it from your graveyard in the end phase. So you can special summon this and tribute it off this. You can also tribute this monster to special summon a Yubel monster from your deck, which is really, really helpful for getting combos started. So a really, really strong monster here. Next up, we have Gruesome Gravesquirmer. This is one of the newer ones. It says, if you control a Fiend monster, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, then destroy one Yubel or one monster that mentions it in your monster zone. So that's really, really good. And then it has the effect of, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a Fiend monster with 0 defense and attack from your hand or graveyard, except Gravesquirmer. You can only use its effect once per turn. So he's really, really good just for like continuously summoning Yubels, getting Yubel back onto the field, getting other stuff in play, and also just getting things triggered. So you can activate him, pop Spirit, summon normal Yubel, go link these 2 off, and just keep going. He's incredible for link climbing. 1 Geist Grinder Golem. This is in case your opponent like just doesn't do anything. They have no monsters. You can Geist them and then punch them and deal 6,000 and then get a 3k point boost. It's not very great. It just summons itself to your opponent's field realistically. It gives you something to hit. This isn't a Yubel card, but it might as well be. Dark Beckoning Beast is incredibly good. On normal, you can add a Uriah, one of the Sacred Beasts. You can add the Sacred Beast or a card that mentions it. A Sacred Beast from your deck to your hand, except itself, and then it also gives you a normal summon for a Fiend with 0/0. Now, the entirety of Yubel's archetype are 0/0 Fiends, except for Geist Grinder, meaning that you get extra normal summons for Samsara, you get extra normal summons for Gruesome, Yubel in the odd chance, but yeah, really, really good. It also searches out Opening of the Spirit Gates, which just so happens to work with Yubel, who is a level 10 monster. So after that, that's it for Yubel stuff. We play 1 Shavara because it's really good. You can special summon it and pop a card. And for the hand trap lineup, 3 Ash, 3 Valier. Play what you want. These could be imperms, but 6 hand traps generally. So that's it for the main deck monsters. Pretty good lineup. This is what I have found works really, really well for me at least, because nothing really gets in the way of each other. Setting those off to the side, let's get into the spells. Starting us off with probably the best spell on the deck, that being Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain is really, really good. There was something under my map. Nightmare Pain is really, really good. During your main phase, you can destroy a dark monster in your hand or face-up field if you do add a Yubel or a card that mentions it from deck to hand, except Nightmare Pain. And then while you control Yubel, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving Yubel, and they must attack Yubel monsters. And they must attack. So really good for getting like OTKs or forcing your opponent to attack if they're not paying attention. It is a pretty solid card. Next up, I'm not spending $100 on 3 cards for a game I don't play. Nightmare Throne. Yeah, this card is really, really good. So Nightmare Throne here, it says, on activation, you can take a Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from deck, either add it to your hand or destroy it. Once per turn, if a face-up Yubel monster you control leaves the field by card effect, you can add to your hand 1 Yubel monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment whose original level is higher or lower than one of those monsters, and special summon it, ignoring conditions. So this is how you get back banished stuff whenever you use like Allure of Darkness or Gruesome Grave Squirmer or whatever. But yeah, this is really, really good because I believe Spirit of Yubel is actually a level 9, I think, if I recall. So like you can pop Spirit, summon Yubel. You can do a lot of really cool stuff with that second effect. Then we're playing 1 Mature Chronicle, which is a redo of, I think, Nightmare Chronicle or Spell Chronicle, and it is a pretty decent one of. So it's a continuous spell that says each time a monster is special summoned that is Yubel or mentions it, place a Chronicle counter on this card. You can remove Chronicle counters from your field to activate one of these effects. You can only apply 1 effect per turn. 1 counter, special summon Yubel from your graveyard. 2, add a banished card from your, add one of your banished cards to your hands. 3, banish a card from your deck. 4, banish a card on the field. Or 5, add Super Poly from deck to hand. That last effect is what is the most important because Super Poly is effectively an honorary Yubel card. Super Poly is insanely integral to this deck. It allows you to do your fusion plays. It lets you do... and because Yubel is built around Super Poly to a degree, they even have a built-in one, so... 3 Super Poly, just really, really good card. Another card that's effectively a Yubel card is the Opening of the Spirit Gates. I mentioned this a little bit ago. This is what you're searching off of Dark Beckoning Beast. So Yubel, as I said earlier, is a level 10, so that works with this. This says that if you control level 10, you can add a continuous spell from your graveyard to your hand, as long as you control level 10. It also says that on activation, you can search a monster that mentions one of the Sacred Beasts, so you can search Dark Beckoning Beast, so normal Beckoning, search this, activate this, search Beckoning. You can discard a card to special summon a 0/0 Fiend from your graveyard, which is insane. So yeah, it also lets you discard that Beckoning Beast that you just discarded and get a free monster back. It's just free resources, which is really nice. 2 Allure, 2 Fusion Deployment. This card isn't great. You could honestly swap this out. I like it because it can get combo started, but it does turn off link plays. And 1 for 1. That's it for spells. This just grabs Samsara, by the way. It's really good for that. Eternal Favorite is the only trap that Yubel actually wants to use. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects, but only use each effect of Eternal Favorite once per turn. You can either special summon one of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your graveyards. Neither player can activate cards or effects when that monster is special summoned. So if you special summon Spirit of Yubel, you don't get its effects, which really sucks. And then it says, if you control Yubel, its other effect, if you control Yubel, discard a card, send this face-up card to the graveyard, fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including a Yubel monster. The downside to that is you have to control this Yubel. So there actually are perks to just leaving her face up on the field. Next up, we play 1 Escape. This is for the Shavara. Because there's a combo you can do. Which maybe if this video gets enough views, I'll do a combo video for Yubel. Because Yubel actually has some pretty neat combos. That is it for the main deck. So that's all for the main. I believe it is a 41, 42 main, but I might be wrong on that. Going into the extra deck. I should be playing 2 of this, but we are playing 1 Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. This card needs 1 Yubel monster plus 1+ effect monsters on the field. So it literally the world's best Super Poly target, like just insanely good. On Fusion Summon, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each material used. You can only use this effect of Yubel once per turn. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the opponent's monster's attack, and if you do, banish that monster. So it is just a Terror Incarnate, but instead of destroying, it banishes, which is nice. 1 Neos Kluger, this is specifically for fusion deployment. We never summon this. 1 Mud Dragon because it's a Super Poly target, and I should also be playing Garura, but I don't own a Garura. We're playing 1 Libe and 1 Gustav Max, again because there's a lot of level 10s in this deck. We can make this so you can actually burn your opponent for 6k, go main phase 2, overlay into this, and game them. One Almirage, this is for putting Grave Squirmer and some other stuff in Grave, just getting some stuff started. One Anima, again, you can put Grave Squirmer, Samsara, whatever. One Yama, so effectively it just needs 2 Fiend monsters. Any 2 Fiends, including Grave Squirmer and Spirit of Yubel, link into this, get Shavara, blow something up, summon that, and then keep linking off. You go into Rage, and that just sets up your combo. We are playing 1 Muckraker and 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Now, I don't know if Animation Chronicle is released at the time of this recording, but if it is, I should also be playing the Phantom of Yubel. That should be a 2 of as well, but I don't have it. That card is insanely good. It lets you change effects, which is just stupid powerful. But that is it for the Yubel deck. That is all I have for her. Yeah, this is a super fun deck. I've always been a big fan of Yubel. I've loved this card for a really long time. I thought it was really cool. I remember playing Fire King Yubels back when I was in high school because I thought that was a really cool and fun way to play this deck. And now that she has her own suite of monsters and her own fusions, and the deck is actually decent, like this is not a horrible deck to actually go out and play. It seems fairly strong and cohesive, and much like Unchained, it's destruction proof effectively. Like all your stuff floats. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Invoked 101.